Hello everyone, welcome back to this Microsoft Excel tutorial journey with me on my Knowledge Factor YouTube channel. This is the 69th session. So in the next feature I want to introduce you to here was actually introduced into Excel in the 2007 edition of Excel. Now I have working this out of Office 365 in front of you, but few versions ago and the newest version all hold this feature. This is called format list as a table. Now looking at my list, I am back into the exercise file. I'm back to the employee record list. There are many different things you want to do with a list, such as what we are looking at here. We have talked about few. You would do sorting, you would do filtering, you would do subtotals, and there are many more. You might do calculations, you might do pivot tables, you might format the list to make it more presentable. Have you ever gone through a list like this and formatted every other row? Maybe done something like this, or highlight every other row just holding down my control key, so I can just do this and then this. So I'm just holding down my control key and selecting all the alternate rows. So it goes on and on and on, and I'll get here new formatting now. So going to my home tab, go to my paint bucket, and maybe I'm going to make them like gray, right? It makes it more presentable and easier to look at, right? But I did that manually. So one, it took me a bit of time to do. Two, what happens if I now sort the list? What if I jump in the last name and I go to my data tab and I do a descending sort? I have now sorted my list, but those highlighted lines are now shuffled all over the place, if you see here, right? And you might get where some are actually crammed next to each other, right, like this. Or look at this, look at these two. There are two rows here, but there are no alternate gray rows anymore because I did it manually. I did it myself, and now when I sort it, that formatting gets sorted as well, right? So I just goof that up. Let me undo this. Control Z, Control Z. There you go. Get back to my default list here. Now what if I calculate this? Let's say I get down to the bottom of my list and I'm just going to count. I'm going to perform a simple count here just using the count function. So I'm just going to count all these records, right? Equal to count. $53. Alright, I can see I got 53 records inside of this list. Now what happens if you filter the list? What's gonna happen to that calculation? Well, let's try this out. I'll click into my list, go to my data tab, click on the big filter button. Now got my little drop down here in each columns. I'm gonna filter for departments. Let's say I just want to say AD and AC, so I'll just deselect all and I'll select AC and AD. Hit OK. Alright, I have just got AD and AC, but where did my calculation go? I don't see that number anymore, right? I want to know how many records I got here for these two departments. Oh, right. Well, you know what? I got filtered out. I can just peek into here, expand that column, and there it is. But I got 53. How many records do I have here, right? That's the full count for the entire list, 53. But here I don't have the 53 after putting that filter. So I have got some issues here, formatting issues. When I sort the list, it's going to get all wacky. Calculations are not updating for me. This is a challenge. I'm going to undo my filter. See that big filter button up there? I'm going to go down to the bottom and delete this calculation as well. Gone. So these are two things among others that I want to fix as I work with a list such as this. So this is where the format as table comes into play. So what's this? I'll click into my list here anywhere, it doesn't matter where. I'm going to go to my home tab, On my home tab, all but 3 sections away to the right, I have the styles section, and in there I got a format as table. Now it's just formatting at this point, so it really doesn't matter which one I pick. In fact, if you are trying this out, whatever you like to, your heart's content, uh, pick a color. I like blue. I'm going to grab this one right here. Alright, so it wants to know where your data is. So it's A1 to H54. That sounds right. Does your table have headers? Oof. Remember that discussion? Yep, my table has headers. So I'll hit OK. And I have now formatted my list as a table. What did this do? It alternated row colors. It did it for me. I don't have to do that manually, right? Cut that out. It gave me the drop downs for the filters. It built those two things right into my table now. Now, what else did I do? It gave me a new tab at the top of my screen, Table Tools, with a Design tab where there are all sorts of features. Oh, you don't like blue or gray? Well, you can change the colors up here. It also gave you remove duplicates. It gave you an export command. It gave you a bunch of options here for styles. Let's try some of these out. So one underneath the table style, there's a few things, but I'm going to turn on the total row, activate that one. Just check it. Now down at the bottom of my list, I now have a total row. What's it doing? 53. What's that? That's the count of records. Look at that. If I click in there, it gives me a drop down where there are some other functions that I can perform here. Maybe I want to sum up the phone extension. Probably not. It's a phone extension, but just for demonstration, I jump in here and say sum. And I have now got a sum of all those numeric numbers. Doesn't make sense as it's a phone extension, but we get an idea. There are different calculations that we can use here. If you see, these are all the list of the calculations, but I'll just delete this for now. Gone. Now you imagine that this list is going to grow in size. People are going to add records to this list. Well, you don't want to add down below because that would be outside of this table. But in the lower right corner, you barely see it out, but there's a little tick mark. If I grab that, see, I'm getting that double-headed arrow. I'll just left click and drag down, and I have now added more rows in the table. And if I start adding records here, let's say if we got number 3000, and this is going to be Smith, and it's going to be Joe, and Joe's part of the HR department, and so on and on and on. And Joe was hired on 1st of January, maybe 2016, let's say. Alright, so there's Joe, and it's already counting Joe as 54 records now. So really simple. Click into your list, go to your home tab, format the list as a table, pick your favorite color, really doesn't matter, but by doing so it gives you the filter, a little jot down arrows, it gives you alternating rows, it gives you the ability to get into some design aspect like the total row and various other features here. Format list as table, one contiguous list. Excel recognizes it as a well formatted list here for you. So try it out, open up the exercise file, hover over the employee records, go to the home tab and format it as a table, and then poke around, see what's available to you. But you now have a well formatted list. So just try it out, and thanks for watching this tutorial. And as I always say, if you really liked it and enjoying this journey, then please do like, share and subscribe my channel, and also press the bell icon to get the latest content update on this channel. Alright then, we'll meet up in the next session. In case you have any questions, any concerns, then do let me know in the comment section of this video. Till the time, goodbye and take care.